I'm not calling him, I'm tired of calling him names. He just can't be anywhere near the office of the presidency.
Just warm it up. If you
with
want,
a blanket or with what? How would you warm Mars up? You know, it's a
the
long
fast
way away from the sun.
There's the fast way and the slow way.
You've played a lot of bad guys. Would you ever play Donald Trump?
Never. There's nothing about him, there's not one redeeming thing in him that I can see, ever.
Robert De Niro's recent attack on Elon Musk included one specific accusation that's backed by data. Since Musk took over Twitter and turned it into X, hate speech has reportedly increased by over 200%, with verified accounts leading the way. De Niro called it a digital landfill and the numbers suggest he might be right. What's even more interesting is that De Niro's comments came just days after Musk publicly endorsed Trump, creating the exact kind of powerful alliance that De Niro was warning about. When De Niro said Trump could destroy the world, he wasn't just being dramatic, he was highlighting the real concern about what happens when tech billionaires and politicians join forces. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. You know when Robert De Niro gets that look in his eyes.
Does it give you some sense, not of joy, but of relief at least, that he's potentially facing some consequences? Because as you've said before, this guy's a con artist and he's gotten away with it for years.
Just warm it up. If you
with
want,
a blanket or with what? How would you warm Mars up? You know, it's a
the
long
fast
way away from the sun.
There's the fast way and the slow way.
He's sick. He is really, genuinely a sick person that somehow has been allowed into our system.
The one where you're not sure if he's about to deliver an Oscar-worthy monologue or go full Travis Bickle. Well, that's exactly what happened when the Hollywood legend decided to take on not one, but two of the most powerful men in America. And let me tell you, he wasn't there to make friends. De Niro wasn't just at some random Hollywood event handing out participation trophies. He showed up to support Biden's campaign, but apparently decided the prepared talking points were too boring. Instead, he went rogue and turned what should have been a standard political endorsement into an epic takedown that probably had his publicist reaching for the antacid. The acting legend absolutely torched Elon Musk with the kind of precision that would make his Goodfellas character proud, not clever, just loud and rich. Ouch, that's gotta sting when you're a guy whose entire personality is built around being a self-proclaimed genius. De Niro basically said what many people think when scrolling through their Twitter feeds these days. This place has gone downhill faster than a toboggan on a mountain of cooking oil. De Niro didn't just criticize Musk's business decisions, he went straight for the jugular by calling out how Twitter has transformed under Musk's watch. Remember when Twitter was just a place where people shared what they had for lunch? Well, according to De Niro, Musk turned this public square into what he colorfully described as a digital landfill, overflowing with conspiracy theorists and trolls. That's not exactly the kind of review you want to frame and hang on your wall after dropping $44 billion on something. But De Niro was just warming up. He took direct aim at Musk's changes to the platform's verification system. You know, the brilliant idea that anyone with $8 can now get the same blue checkmark that used to mean something. According to De Niro, this move completely trashed the platform's credibility. And he wasn't done there. He pointed out how Musk's leadership style apparently involved firing entire departments, including those pesky ethics teams and safety units that were probably just slowing down all the free speech happening on the platform. The timing of De Niro's verbal assault wasn't random either. It came right after Musk started playing political fanboy, endorsing Trump and showing up at his rallies like an eager groupie who finally got backstage passes. It's like watching the weird kid from high school who built robots suddenly decide he wants to sit at the cool table with the bullies.
We've heard you talk about the former president. You have called him a fraud, a con artist. You've said he's a New Yorker like you, and you have watched this brand of BS.
How long before we could turn Mars into someplace where we could live?
It is a fixer-upper of a planet. At first, you're going to have to live in transparent domes, but eventually...
Yes, we're going to be huffing each other's snacks.
I'm not calling him, I'm tired of calling him names. He just can't be anywhere near the office of the presidency. He's so, as we all know, so narcissistic and self-centered.
What makes De Niro's attack so significant isn't just the celebrity drama, it's that it signals growing alarm in Hollywood about the unholy alliance forming between tech billionaires and politicians. When guys who control global communication platforms start cozying up to potential presidents, that's not just gossip for entertainment tonight. That's the kind of stuff that keeps democracy experts up at night. After finishing with Musk, De Niro shifted his focus to Trump with an even more alarming accusation, suggesting the
I think of how absurd it is, and this might be the one case where that could be it for him. It's a state case.
Yeah, but eventually you can transform Mars into an Earth-like planet.
How would you do that?
You'd warm it up.
You've played a lot of bad guys. Would you ever play Donald Trump?
Never. There's nothing about him, there's not one redeeming thing in him that I can see ever.
president could destroy the world. Now that's not exactly a campaign slogan you'd put on a bumper sticker, but coming from De Niro, a man who's played some of cinema's most terrifying characters, the warning carries a certain weight. He wasn't just throwing celebrity shade, he was sounding an alarm about the dangers of combining tech power with political ambition. This confrontation represents something bigger than just another celebrity hot take. It marks a moment when the gloves came off in the culture war, with A-listers directly challenging tech titans on their own digital turf.
And it's funny, I was just thinking that he actually became president. He could have done good things. Instead, he had to do it all wrong.
I wouldn't, for the prototype at least, I would recommend not dropping anything when you're near it.
I don't think they really understand. And historically, from what I see, even in Nazi Germany, they had it with Hitler.
De Niro basically walked into the virtual saloon, called out the new sheriff, and questioned whether he's actually making the town safer or just letting his buddies run wild. What we're seeing with De Niro's public smackdown isn't just about one angry actor. It's part of a bigger movement where Hollywood heavyweights are stepping into the political boxing ring against tech billionaires. Political analysts actually found that these celebrity interventions can seriously sway public opinion, especially with younger voters who pay more attention to what their favorite stars say than some boring politician in a suit. The real question isn't whether De Niro went too far, it's whether his warnings hold water, or if this is just another case of Hollywood getting their designer panties in a twist during election season. Polling data shows voters often respond positively to celebrity endorsements, with young people particularly susceptible to being influenced by their favorite stars. The battle lines are drawn clearer than the foundation on Trump's orange face. Next time you're scrolling through your feed, remember you're not just seeing random posts, you're witnessing the very culture war battlefield that De Niro just put a spotlight on. And in this new digital coliseum, the gladiators wear designer suits and have blue check marks.